In this video, we're going to set up a remote log server. It's a good idea to have a central location to store your log files, especially if you have multiple servers. You don't want to have to log in each one just to review logs. First, we're going to set up the central log server, the place we're going to forward and store our logs. Then we're going to set up remote logging on another Linux server so our logs are forwarded to the central log server. We need to edit our rsyslog.conf file. At the top here, we'll create a remote logs template so our system knows how to handle the forwarded logs. Really, it could go anywhere, it just has to go above rules. We'll uncomment these two lines here. Restart rsyslog service. Then we need to add a TCP entry on our firewall to allow our logs through on TCP port 514. Restart firewall. Next, we'll set up another server to forward our logs to the log server we just configured. We need to edit our rsyslog.conf file. We'll find our rule section and add a new forwarding rule at the top here. We'll put in the IP address and port number here. Hostname and port would also work. Restart rsyslog service. Now we can test using the logger command. Let's go back to our log server and tail and follow our remote log. We can send another test through and run some other commands. We see it all show up here in the logs and confirm it's functioning properly. While we're on the subject of logging, I'd like to mention a Linux utility called Logrotate. It does exactly what you might expect. If it's not already installed, you could simply run sudo apt install logrotate. Let's take a look at the logrotate.conf file. You'll see some default options here. Our logs will be rotated weekly, and the system will keep a maximum of 4 weeks of logs. Depending on how much logging you're doing, you can uncomment this line to compress your logs. The logrotate utility runs daily. One thing to note is that these settings will be used by default. You can also set individual directives for different logs. To learn more, I'd encourage you to read the man page. There's a lot more to logging. This was just a basic introduction.